Hello friends and hello student. My name is Ashok Sigala. In this session, we learn the binary operator overloading using friend function. So here first I share my laptop screen and fix the position so you can watch better way my video lecture. Yes, and here Turbo C++ is there. I just double click and take some time. Yes, now is take process and now is yes open. Alt F taking new file and here our goal, that is a second technique, binary uh, operator. So yes, operator overloading using friend. Yes, friend function. So in my first technique, we can see the member function binary operator overloading. So here we can say that second technique. So there are two way, member function and friend function, binary operator overloading. So you have to know very well, operator overloading means giving the existing operator new tasks, new behavior or new meaning. So that is called operator overloading. And we can binary, so there are two operand, so that is known as binary operator overloading. So unary means one and binary means two operand, two variable we have to use. So like inbuilt data type, we can two integer sum, so here two object sum. So I all explained in my previous video lecture, so first you can watch, and here I directly start the coding or example with help we can understand binary operator overloading using friend function. So that is a goal. And IO string.h and then conio console input output.h. Yes, and then our class first design, that is second section in C++ programming. So first is include files and then test or any class name you have to your choice, but give the meaningful name of class. You can not take the alphabet or first letter is digit, but alphabet is allowed, and not any inbuilt or keywords name. Okay, or not use a long name, short and meaningful name. So here for class there are two integer member we have to define, and that is a x and that y, that known as a instant variable of class, because when object is created that time that memory is allocated. So first here I define the default constructor and x equal to y equal to 0. It is chain assignment in C++. Okay, and now two parameterized constructor I declare, and that is AB we can assign to our xy value, x equal to A and then y equal to B. So now we can take one show function, and that is also inline because only one line and inside the class that definition. So we can print our xy value. So here give the message x and y values are, yes, so that is a print, yes, first x and then we can give set w, set with, so that is a manipulators and file. So in between some gap or blank space is there, and now y, and then also and l. So there are two manipulator here I use, and yes, so set w is a require one header file, and that's name is input output manipulators IOM IP. So IOMAN man IP input output manipulators. Yes, so that is a, otherwise that prototype error is there. So we can now declare our main target, and that is a friend. So you have to know very well, friend is a keyword, friend, then our operator. Yes, so first we can that return data type. So object with argument and with return value, that type we have to declare. So test is a that class itself, that return data type. Class is a user defined data type. So now there is a keyword operator and plus, and then in, you have to know very well rules of operator overloading using the friend function. There are, we can pass the two argument class name. So that is a, we can say that two argument we can pass. So otherwise that's not possible. So we can use in operator overloading, binary operator overloading using member function that only take one argument, but we can use in friend function using second technique that are two argument, because that is a not member of class, because that is a friend function. You have no rules of friend function. So if you're not aware of rules of friend function, you can watch my friend function one class. There are four type of friend function we have to design in my previous video lecture. One class, one friend function, two class and one friend function, and one specific member of friend of other class, and one whole class is a friend of other class. So there are four type friend function we have to declare. So here that we can say that one class and one friend function. So here I save this file, and that is binary and friend FRI. So that is a second technique. Okay. So I give the digit, but we can remember first and second. So that TPP file name extension is there. So now that is a declaring site, but that not member of the, and after all that is access your private member with help of class object. So object must be passed as a object as argument, otherwise friend function not work. So here two argument we have to pass. In unary operator we can friend function technique one argument, and binary operator two argument, and member function in unary there is no argument, but binary operator in using the member we can pass one argument. So here we can pass the two argument, because that is a binary operator and friend function technique. So now we can define that is a just test, and in member function we can write two time test, but here only one time, because that is a not member of class. Okay. So directly friend function that is calling, and that definition like a normal function, normal our UDF user defined function. So operator, just keyword and plus sign, and then two, that is test, we have to pass two. So here I give the temp tm and test again, and tm again give the test and tm2. Okay, so that is our name, and first we can write the four line and then convert in single line. So test temp temp. Okay, here tm, and then temp is tmp dot x, then we can take the sum. So tm1x plus tm2 dot x, so x sum, and tm dot y, then tm. That's if you confuse, then give the other name also, that possible, but here I give the tm and emp, so we can distinct that. Okay, tm2 dot y, and return the temp. Yes, so we can return our object as a, return the object, and that is a class user defined data type. And now turn to main function. So initially I can not take a static value, first we can, and then after we can take from user side dynamic value. So here directly the clear screen, and then our class test, and declare the t1, and that is my technique. First I that that is a here that default constructor implicit call. So how the explicit? So here you can call that type, that is called explicit default constructor. Yes, so that is explicit. So some students not get the idea. So that is a default implicit calling, and that is explicit we have to call the default constructor. Okay, and same way we can also call like two parameterized constructors. So here we can already call the default constructor, then now t2 again, but we cannot declare second time. So here what to do, we can directly like test 2, yes, test t2 object, and here we can give like 10 and 20, but that second time declaration. Here's first time T2 is declared. So here two parameterized call implicit. Okay. So we cannot use in that implicit and explicit in default constructor. So then and then happen. So now I just give the idea. So now first I print and then show function you call T1 and T2 show. Yes. And also give the appropriate message after all. So here I first get ch, yes, and then yes, close brace is there. So now I first remove this blank and first save and compile. Yes, any error one. Yes, what is here? Okay. So yes, here two time. Yes, that class name is two time, right? So that is a obviously taking the error. So now that solve any not error. So let us take what is a value of x, that T1 and T2, and in between gap that set W, set manipulator. So how we can find that is xy is T1 and T2. So we can suitable the give the message then and then we can understand. So here T1 object. So that is a calling, yes, and then semicolon is needed, and then I copy this line and yes, and paste to here also. So here we can view the name of T2. Yes. So now let us first check that work. Yes. Now perfect. So we can yes T1 XY. Yes, that prefix is a T1 object XY value 00 and T2 object xy is 00. So every default. So we can understand that is implicit and that is explicit. Okay. So now you can understand. So I remove this calling implicit explicit, and we can call the our two parameterized implicit explicit. So here I pass directly that implicit calling 10 and 20 to T1, and that is implicit, and now here I give the like 5 and 50. So that is two parameter I directly call, not default. And now here take the third object. You can also declare all object at same time here, I give just idea T1 and T2 and T3 like our integer variable we have to define. Okay. So but we can that time not that all are calling the default constructor. So we can two parameterize constructor, then after we have to not call like implicit and explicit. So I give the separate. Okay. So many technique is there. Now here we can use the test T3 object, and that is default constructor implicit calling. Okay. And also I print that object. Yes, I copy and paste over T3 object. Yes. So T3 and that calling the show T3. Yes. So now first we can check, and step by step we can also calling our friend function now. So here 10 and 20, that is T1 XY, T2 5 and 15, and then T3 is a 00 because that is initially we have to 00. Now we can take the sum, and that sum we can before the here, so that sum is print not 00. So if you again here and then call sum, that is also possible. So yes, let us take that type of example. So here we can T3 and equal, and so in this friend function there is only implicit, explicit calling is not possible because that is not member of friend function, is a not member of class. So in a member function I give the two technique, implicit and explicit. Here compulsory we can only one technique, and that is a implicit. So T1 plus T2. So that is a directly calls this our friend function, yes, plus operator overloading, and that is considered like T1, and that is TM2 is T2 and T1, and then sum is applied to temp x and y, and that return temp in T3. So now I just print again. So I copy these two line again and paste to here. After that, our that we can say that here first technique, only one technique, and that is a implicit call. Yes, implicit. So that is operator overloading implicit call. Yes, let us take, there is no any error, and now yes, so that first is a 0 0 default constructor and now gap, so we can easily identify vertical sum like 10 plus 5, so that t3x is at 15 and t1y 20 and t2y is 15, so t3y is 35 vertical sum. Yes, so that is very easy. Yes, and I can show you just this technique we cannot use in friend function. Here in member function we can take this technique, but like here we cannot take like t1 call, yes, and t2 pass. That not happen in the friend function because that taking error, because that is a not a member of our class, that is a friend function. So we can give that type, and I compile that taking the error. First, let us, so that is a taking expected all that not is a member of that class because that is a friend function. So that technique is a calling the explicit member function. That time that is work perfectly, and internal this statement convert in member function in this statement, but friend function is a not a class member function, so we cannot write this technique. So I just remove, so just give the idea that is not working in this technique. So we can only one technique in friend function, but in member function there are two techniques, implicit and explicit. Okay, so now what to do? First we can take dynamic and AFB value to our XY, and here I scan and message. Yes, that is a enter. We can say that T1 A and B, yes, A and B value. So we can understand that is a T1 pass object. Enter T1 AB values. So, and we can scan in both in one scene. So A and B, yes. And then I just copy these two, and here before the our second two parameterized. So AB use again. So here I pass A and not static. Here now dynamic, and here same we can AB use. So here also A and then B. So now let us can take the chance to runtime give the value. So first is a enter T1 AB, that is suitable give the message so user can easily understand. So here I give any value. So like and there is two value at the same time. So one blank space is required like 9 and one blank and 8. So that T1 AB or XY is initialized. Yes, messages we have to not change because T2, so copy and paste, so that is remaining. So we can change after all. So now I give the 5 and that 6. So yes, sum is there. So like 9 plus 5, that 14, and 8 plus 6 is 14. So both are same because we can pass that type of value. Okay, and that remaining the message change, here we can give the T2, yes, that remaining. Okay, so now that is a dynamic, and we can give here concise form, that is a 4 line. So I just comment and one line convert, so I all are in comment line, so for your reference. And now only one line written, and there is only happen in two parameterized constructor then and then possible, only one line, 4 line convert in one line. So here parenthesis and that, and then we can sum, and that here we can call our test object. So here and yes, give that known as a nameless object. Yes, so that is a calling, and here we can pass tm1.x plus tm2.x, and same way tm1.y plus tm2.y and semicolon. So only that is concise form. Yes, that 4 line convert in the single line. Yes, and that is called the two parameterized constructor. That time that object name is not name, any name, and that known as a nameless object. Okay, so let us how that possible. Yes, any error? Yes, there is no any error. Okay, so that is only one line. So what, how it's happen? So here we can pass, that is a same like that we I just give one idea. So here in our integer data type like integer sum, I just show you how it's happen. So like integer a and integer b we have to pass, and that time we can first take like this type. First we can take z, yes, and then z equal to, here we can a plus b, our integer data type, and then we can write return z. So there are, and but we can sometime write directly, yes, uh, like that type, one line, one a plus b, so that all line is removed. Yes, so same way, that is I give the idea how it's happened. So inbuilt data type we have to possible without any third variable, we can sum a plus b. So same way in the object oriented programming, one line happen, and there is a no require the third object without blank, that name is a, or we can say that the no name, that object is a no name, and temporary sum happen in one cell x, tm1x and tm2.x, sum is happen, and then same t1y and tm, and that call the two parameterized constructor. So that is a must be. If you not design the two parameterized constructor, that not working. So here and working, and then return nameless object and assign to our call handler t3, t3 handler is there, and that directly print, there is no give any error. So that is a happening in integer data type, same way I just reference for your. So that is happening, I just remove this integer sum. So we can possible all, that is object oriented programming aim, how many statement possible in inbuilt data type, that is also possible in object, or we can say that user defined data type class. So now yes, I run, there is no any error, and we can give some different value like 12 and 15, yes, and then t2, yes, now our message is changed, t1, t2 ab value, and I pass 8, so 20 sum, and here 5, so 20 sum, same, you can give any value. So yes, vertical sum 12 plus 8 20, and 5 plus 5 plus 2 2020, or here presently year is 2020. So I give that type of value. You can your choice. So yes, so that is a, I remove, there is no any error because that is comment line, but I, as it is remaining comment because for your reference. So only one line is possible, that is very concise coding. So 4 line converting the one line, we can say that 4 statement. So in our goal in learning of programming C and C++, to always try to first reduce the number of statement, then reduce the number of variable, and then decision statement. If more you can use, then reduce, and more loop you have to take, then reduce. That is a good programmer. So that is a sign of good programmer. So we can concise. Yes, that is also very important session. So now binary operator overloading using friend function, I can explain step by step. I think you have to know very well. Yes, and that is also ION IP input output manipulators. Okay, so in this session we can also use two manipulator, NL and SETW. So yes, that is first section. Write this program to your not C++ book. That is our class declaration. Second section in C++. Okay, and that is our friend function, friend keyword. That is not a member of class. That is normal definition, like look like our normally user defined function. That normal function definition and normal function calling, but must be declared inside the class, and then and must be passed the object as function argument, then and then that taking the private member of that class. Okay, that is rules of friend function. So that is right our operator definition, and then our main function, that is the last section. So I guess, so that is a complete get ch, and now is brace is there. So here one blank is there, so extra. So yes, that write in your notebook, and now I close this file. So I think you can understand, or yes, so there is only one technique, implicit calling here, not explicitly. In friend technique, member function, there are two, both are possible. And there is one here I give the idea. Here we can also give like I can say in previously like test T1, T2 and T3. So now how we can call our, yes, so we can design time only pass the argument that, so I can declare that type of, here we can declare, and like here taking error, like now I remove this test in T1 and T2. So here what happened, yes, let us take, so that is a taking just two error, because that here we can call like this type, yes, here first and then test, yes, so that is possible. There is like yes, that is also testing, yes, there is one, yes, here is a multiple declaration because we have to already declare here. Okay, so I remove this, and also in C++ is also possibility, like I give here, I just comment line, and here our, yes, that is we can here directly that declaration and initialize, that is a dynamic initialization of variables, so that that also possibility. Now I just compile, yes, there is undefined, yes, so okay, here we can use, so before I can declare, so that is a, we can comment line, because that is only 0 0 we have to print, so that type of testing we can also done, all testing, yes, there is now no error. Okay, so I think that is a, now all are well, but I remove this comment line, and here I not declare as above, here I declare, so all are in one place, yes, so that is all called the default constructor, and then our, yes, as previously I just run last time, so I give any value like 8 and 9, and then 12 and 11, so that is 20 20 again, sum is yes. Okay, so now I close this file, yes, I'll write this program to your note, yes, all are closed and quit. So subscribe my channel Ashok Sijal Attorney, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting and sharing my video lecture. And any question, any doubt for this definition or any programming definition for any program, any language, you can write in comment section. I give definitely answer. So thanks again and Hare Krishna.